What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight, okay, making his debut on the channel tonight, we have Tom Cochrane. Yes, indeed. How about that? Tom Cochrane making his debut on the channel. Before we go any further, for those of you who are feeling inclined to doing all of the clicks and the likes and the bibbidi-bobbidi-bob, do me a favor before you do all that stuff. Please watch the whole video first, okay? Give me a chance to actually earn those clicks and likes. Now, after the video's done, if you still feel like doing all those clicks and likes, then by all means, feel free to click away. This comes as a request from Barry Ryder, and Barry wanted to see me react to this song by Tom Cochrane called Big League. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, hold it right there. Yeah, I recognize this song. I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This was posted by Tom Cochrane. Surprise, surprise. And the video has 174,000 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. A link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Tom Cochrane, Big League for Humboldt. Not quite sure what that means, but okay. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Oh, is this like a Marshall thing?
He was a kid, he'd be up at 5, take shots till 8, and make the thing drive. Out after school and back on ice. That was his life. He was gonna play in the big league.
I'm not normally a lyrics guy, but I couldn't help but notice a couple of the lines he said. Let me see if I can catch them again. Something about being on ice and taking shots for like 3 hours and from 5 to 8. Is this about a hockey player?
Take shots till 8. He was a kid, he'd be up at 5, take shots till 8, and make the thing drive. Out after school and back on ice. That was his life. He was gonna play in the big league.
So we're talking about a hockey player. A kid who wants to become a professional hockey player. Up at 5, on the ice, taking shots, practicing, getting ice time in, working on his accuracy, working on his wrist shots, working on his slap shots, working on, all the fundamentals, and then goes to school, comes home from school, right back on the ice again. That's dedication. That's absolute dedication. I have a feeling this is about a hockey player. But I don't like how he said he was going to play in the big leagues. I don't like that. I have a feeling this is not going to end well. Oh, boy. I hope oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Do I need this? Do I need this? Hope not. Really hope not. But I might, if this is what I think it's about. Oh, no.
Now many ways out of this cold northern town, you work in the mill and get laid in the ground. And if you're gonna jump, it'll be with a game. Real fast and tough is the only clear lane to the big league. My boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna turn some heads. My boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna knock 'em dead. Oh, the big league. All the right.
So, this song was written from the perspective of a parent of a hockey player, a kid who wants to be a hockey player. Now, here's the question. Was he the parent? Or did he write this song? And I really, really hope I'm wrong about this, because just thinking about this is kind of breaking me up right now in the inside. Was this song written from the perspective of a parent whose kid died in some freak accident and had his future in professional hockey taken away from him? And if that's the case, was it just one kid or was it several? Because I can't help but notice that the video screen talks about not just one player, it talks about a team. Do we have another Marshall situation here? I really hope that's not the case. It's just thinking about that is killing me inside right now. I don't even know if that's what it is about. I'm not even sure. It could just be about one person. It could be about a whole team. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I feel like tragedy happened. And I hate hearing about kids having tragedy happen to them. Adults, it's different. I know that's such a double standard. But I know a lot of people are going to call me on that, but hear me out. Adults, we've lived our lives. You know, we've lived full lives. By the time you hit your mid-20s, you've done some, you should have, by this point, you should have done some pretty cool things, okay? Even 20s are still young, but by the time you get into your 30s, you start to go, okay, you know what? I'm happy with my life. I'm happy with what I've achieved. I'm happy with what I've done. If I were to go today, I'd be okay. I'd be happy with that. I've done my part. I've achieved my goals. I've done everything in life I wanted to do. There's more I could do, but I left my mark on the world. I'm okay with that. By the time you hit your 30s, you're already feeling like that. You're pretty satisfied. Kids, they've just begun. They've just started. And it's not fair. It's just not fair. So I'm really hoping I'm wrong about this, but something tells me I'm not. Something tells me this is about a kid, or worse, a group of kids, possibly a whole team, who were tragically taken way too early before they reached their full potential. And if you know anything about me, you know that hits me harder than anything. So, I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. But something tells me I'm not.
When he turned 18, riding to the game, riding with his team, riding with the friends and riding for the dreams, riding off to immortality in the big league. My boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna turn some heads. My boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna knock 'em dead. Oh, you never can tell what might come down. You never can tell when you might check out. You just don't know, no, you never can tell. Sometimes at night I can hear the ice crack. It sounds like thunder as it rips through my back. Sometimes in the morning I'll still hear the sound. Ice meets metal. Can't you drive me down to the big league? Oh, my boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna turn some heads. My boy's gonna play in the big league. My boy's gonna knock 'em dead. Oh, you never can tell what might come down. You never can tell when you might check out. You just don't know, no, you never can tell. So do right to others like you do to yourself in the big league. Oh, the big league. Oh, the big league.
Oh boy. I have a bad feeling about this. I think my suspicions were right. Oh boy. Uh, what do I do? I need to see if my suspicions are correct. I feel compelled to see if my suspicions are correct. All the signs are pointing to it for Humboldt Broncos. And they kept in on the video package, they kept showing pictures of this team. And now with this final shot, we have the team, but we have these 4 individuals up here. and I got a really bad feeling about what happened. All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. I don't normally do research, but I'm gonna go look this up. I feel like I need to. Let me do some research. Let me do my due diligence here. Let me get my thoughts together. Let me compose it, because I have a feeling I'm right, and if I am, I'm gonna lose it. Let me get my thoughts together. Let me get myself composed. I'll see you in the review, and we'll talk about it. Well, there you go, folks. That was Tom Cochrane with Big League, a Humboldt Tribute. This was a request from Barry Ryder. Okay, I thought about it, and I did my due diligence. I did what I said I was going to do because I had a feeling I should. So I did, and I did some research, and I found out some things. And we're going to talk about those in a little bit. Let's start off with the song first, okay? You may have noticed I'm not talking about the score. There's a reason for that. I promise we'll get to it. The song, it's on its own. It's a nice song. It's a pretty song. It's a haunting song. It definitely has a haunting appeal, mostly due to the key signature that we're in. We're in the key of D, and the chordal progression, D to the C to the G, back to the root again. And it's how that progression happened. D down to the C, so root to 7. Okay, that's pretty typical. Down to the G major, resolving from a C5 to a G major. That's where the haunting quality really comes into play. I've always called D probably the saddest of all of the keys. That's where a lot of sad songs are played in, are in D. Also, G minor, G has its sad songs as well as E. But D has always stuck to me as being a very melancholy key, a very sad key. One of the reasons why it's my favorite key. Resolving down to the C to the G major. So you have the B. I'll show you what I mean.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
This is gonna be a little weird. I'm doing on the bass, but you're gonna get the idea. And then you go on. So you got the D, right? To the C. So you have the D to the C, C5 to the G major. The G major, you have the third in there, so you get G major out of it. Back up, and then you go back down to the D again. That's why you're getting that kind of a release on the third chord. You go D to the C to the G. You'll notice that when we get to that G, you feel that. I don't know if release is really the word, but you feel that. I don't know if elation. You feel that little uplifting moment from that G major chord, and that's why it works so well. It gives you that feeling. I guess to some extent you could say release or relief. I don't know if it's that strong, but you definitely feel it. You definitely feel that change. From that D down to the C to that G major. It just feels nice. It really does. It's well thought out. Did he have to do the G major? No, he didn't have to. He could have gone just G5 because he's going from C5 down to G. Why not just do a G5? But instead he chose to do G major, which I think was the right call. Is it hard? No. Is it difficult? No. It's well thought out. I'll definitely give it that. Is it impressive? No. We've heard other bands do it before. We've heard other artists do it before, so I'm not going to sit there and go, it's impressive. But it sounds good. It definitely sounds good, and it definitely adds that extra layer of emotion to the song. On top of that, his vocal delivery. Now, again, impressive? No. Mind-boggling? No. Great? No. I don't even know if I would go great, but it was really good. It fit the context of the song without question. Anything more than what he did, I think, would have been lost. It would have been overdone. And to be honest with you, if he had done more vocally, I think it might have taken away from the song. You know, it's not the old saying, less is more. Well, this is a good example of what they're talking about. Yeah, overall, the song on its own, I would say, I would give the song on its own about a 7.2, 7.3. It's a really good song. It's nice, pleasing to the ear. It's well crafted, it's well constructed. I don't hear any problem with it. So yeah, I would put either high 6s, low 7s, somewhere in there. Here's the problem. My gut was telling me there's more to this. Something tells me I need to go and look. I need to do some research. And I'm so glad I did. So this is what I found. Now, I want you to take everything I'm going to say here with a grain of salt, because I'm getting this off Wikipedia. Now, look, Wikipedia, 90% to 95% of the time, it's accurate, okay? It's dead on accurate. It's facts. It lays it out. Are they the be-all, end-all, say-all of facts and figures within the world? No, they've been wrong before, and we all know they've been wrong before. So take everything I'm going to say here with a grain of salt, because I'm getting it from Wikipedia, all right? So the song Big League was actually written and released in 1988 by Tom Cochrane and Red Ryder, okay? So it's a band, Red Ryder, Tom Cochrane is a part of it. They released the song in 1988 on the album Victory Day. It was one of the band's most popular songs. I'm sure it was right up there with, what's the song I'm thinking of that was on Guitar Hero? Oh, gosh. They had a song on there. I don't remember the name of the song, but I loved it. It was a fun tune. Now, the whole reason this happened with this recording is in 2018, Tom Cochrane released a new solo recording of the song as a charity single to benefit the victims and survivors of the Humboldt bus crash. And here's where my gut was coming into play watching the video. I'm like, there's something about this. So, on April 6, 2018, 16 people were killed and 13 were injured when a northbound coach bus struck a westbound semi-trailer truck near, where is that? Armley, Saskatchewan. What?
What?
Saskatchewan. Yeah, there it is. Canada. Okay, the driver of the semi-truck had failed to yield at a flashing stop sign. So basically, the semi-truck trailer the driver was at fault. He was doing about 62, and when he hit the bus, 16 players, staff, commentators were killed in that, and as a result, that led to Tom Cochrane re-recording as a solo recording the song as a single charity recording. So basically, what that means is he re-recorded the song and released it with all of the proceeds going to victims and survivors of the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. You know, when I was watching this video and I saw the video package in the background behind him playing, and I heard the first set of lines, you know, up at 5, hitting the ice, working on his shots, and for 3 hours, goes to school, comes home, and gets right back to it again. That hit hard with me. And the reason it hit hard with me is that kind of reminds me of me with my music. I would be coming home from school. I would just, guys, don't do as I did, okay? Kids, if you're watching, don't do what I did. What I did was not smart, okay? It really wasn't. I wish I had done my homework, but I skipped my homework. I never did my. Luckily, I got all A's on all of my tests and quizzes, so I was able to skate by in high school was C's. Except band classes, I got all A's. So I ended up with a B average. But I had a lot of band classes. But I would come home from school, I would toss my books on my bed, I would go out to the game room where I had my rig set up, and I would immediately start practicing. And I would practice anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day. So I hear that lyric and I relate. I absolutely relate. And where is it? Where's my rag? I can already feel myself tearing up. So I can relate because the person, the individual that Tom's singing about here, singing from the perspective of a parent, talking about their kid, putting in the time, putting in the work, not being told to practice. Like a lot of parents have to tell their kids to practice. Oh, Jimmy, it's time for you to practice your trombone. Oh, Susie, it's time for you to practice your flute. Oh, Jonathan, it's time for you to go and work on your footwork for soccer and blah, blah, blah. And whatever the case may be, and the kids, they really don't want to do it. And then you have those rare kids that they don't even have to be told. They take it upon themselves because they love what they're doing and they want to succeed in it. They have a goal in their head. I am going to be a professional musician. I am going to be a professional athlete. I am going to be a politician. I am going to be a genetic scientist. I'm going to work in the field of genetics. I'm going to be a nuclear physicist. They have this goal in their mind. They are going to be this. And they are what, unfortunately, in this day and age, so few children are. They are driven and they are goal-oriented. And it's a shame to hear that these kids got cut down before they achieved their true potential. They put in all this work. They put in all this effort. They had the dream, and the wheels were turning. The wheels were turning, and things were happening. You know, kids end up going to school on a college scholarship or whatever the case may be. You know, and then tragedy happens, and they have their dreams destroyed, taken from them against their will. And worse than that, you have these parents who supported these kids, had these hopes and dreams for these kids, who saw their kids wanting this and supported them and backed them and hoped and prayed that their child would get what they want. And it starts to happen, and it's taken. And here's the worst part. From what I was reading about this crash, the media kept, because they're minors, the RCMP stated they would not be releasing the names of the dead until the families were notified. I want you to imagine being a parent, your kids going off to play a hockey game, across town rivalry, or across the country or whatever, and they're going to play hockey, and they're on a road trip, and everything when your child left was fine. Everything was fine. Kid was smiling. He's excited. He gets to be with his team. He gets to have that camaraderie. He gets to go and do what he loves to do, play hockey. And a couple days go by and everything's fine. Maybe your child called you the night before just to let you know that, hey, we won, or hey, we lost, or we're going to be pulling in and we're getting ready and we got to get suited up. I love you, and so forth and so on. And then the next day, you have police officers on your doorstep informing you that your child that you just spoke to less than 12 hours ago was killed in a bus accident. I know it's one thing when you have a family member who's in the Army or in the military in general, or they're a police officer, or they're a firefighter, they're a first responder. it's one thing to have, and I don't want people to feel like I'm discrediting those feels and what I'm about to describe, because folks, it no matter who you lose in a situation like that, it's heart-wrenching. It is, okay? When you find out that your child was killed in the line of duty, that's devastating, okay? And I'm not discrediting those things in any way, shape, or form. I have the utmost respect for our first responders, for the military who do serve their country, who are unfortunately killed in the line of duty, doing what they love, doing what they want to do, serving the community or their country, whichever the case may be, and they lose their lives in the line of duty. It's tragic, okay? It's absolutely tragic, and I am not discrediting those things. But folks, when your kid when you have a loved one whose lives are taken from you, and they're not a police officer, they're not serving in the military, they're playing hockey, for God's sakes, and you get that visit, you don't see it coming. Look, oh God, when you have someone in the military or a public servant who is serving, or a first responder, you know there's a chance, you know there's a possibility that when they go out there risking their lives, key word, risking their lives to serve their country or serve their community, there is a chance. Heaven forbid it happens, but there is that chance that you might get that phone call, or not a phone call, you might get that visit from the chaplain. You know that there's that possibility. You hope it doesn't happen, but there's that possibility. You don't see that possibility when your child dies playing hockey. You just don't see that possibility. So when I say you get blindsided, boy, you get blindsided. There's no chance. It's just, there's no chance to prepare for that. So, being a parent and getting that visit must have been beyond devastating. And now here comes Tom Cochrane coming along, doing what he can, taking a song, re-releasing it as a single with everything going to charity to support those parents, to support those families, to support the survivors of the crash. I mean, what more is there to say? What more is there to say? He did everything he could. He took it upon himself to do that in an act of charity. And you know me, if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you know I'm a sucker for charity. And when things are done specifically for charity, that's a humanitarian cause. And you know what happens on this channel with humanitarian causes. Man. So, with all of that being said, that's all my reasonings for what I'm about to do. And if you don't agree with what I'm about to do, honestly, I don't care. It's my channel. I'm going to do what I want. On a scale of 1 to 10, if you've been on the channel for any amount of time, you know what I'm going to say. For humanitarian reasons, I am giving this performance and this song a 10. Yep, 10. You heard me. I didn't stutter. That is the reason I'm giving that score. Humanitarian reasons. I've already given you all the reasons why. Why? So I don't see any reason to go into it again. But yes, a 10. Perfection. For humanitarian reasons. Which would also equate out to 5 out of 5 stars and an A+ letter grade. That's how I feel, and that is where we're going to stay. So, let's wrap this up, shall we? Perfect 10 for humanitarian reasons. Amazing, outstanding performance. 5 out of 5 stars and an A+ letter grade. Take your pick. I don't care. Whichever one of those floats your boat. And before anybody even thinks about going in the comments saying, You're giving this a 10, but you didn't give my favorite song a 10. Guys, I don't give 10s unless it's for humanitarian reasons like this, okay? So please spare me those comments. I don't want to deal with them. 10! You heard me right. 10. Final score. I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, well then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.